Guys, I'm not going to lie. I'm starting to get very, very worried that the Los Angeles Chargers end up being the story of the 2026 NFL fantasy football season. I hope I'm wrong. And there are plenty of reasonable people who disagree with me, which is the one thing that's kind of keeping me off the ledge. In fact, I would say there are probably more very serious fantasy football analysts who are skeptical of Chargers pricing than there are people chasing them up the board. But, one thing that I've really learned in my fantasy football career is that very few teams and very few players can define the fantasy football season. By and large, there are, 80% of the fantasy football population, 80% of the guys who are going to be on our rosters basically don't matter, right? I mean, and that's kind of the context. So let's just go look at some 2025 fantasy point scorers just to really drive home how few players matter in fantasy football, because there are a lot, right? And basically what you find is that these offenses that have the ability to just lift all boats end up being so important, right? All right, let's go pull up the rankings page, and we're just gonna let's just compare some of these wide receivers from last season, and let's see how insignificant they were. So let's click on let's click on Michael Pittman Jr. Michael Pittman Jr. last year finished as the wide receiver 30, wide receiver 18 points per game. He scored 11.91 points per game. Weird start here. Jamar Chase goes 1. We will take Jackson Smith and Jigba at 5. So Michael Pittman Jr., wide receiver 18, 11.9 points per game. Now let's go to, actually, it's funny. Let's go to Josh Downs. Josh Downs last year finishes wide receiver 44. He scores 8.5 points per game. That's Romeo Dubs. That's actually a good one. That's actually a good one. And we will go 165 total points, 10.3 points per game. And you can go through the list, right? You can just go down and you can just find all these guys that don't matter, that don't add anything to your roster. They just kind of exist. They're just there to help get you over the line. And what I am worried about, what the nightmare would be for me is that people end up being correct about the Chargers. I think it's possible. Herbert has been unbelievably good for fantasy football. I mean, it's been a long time now. It was kind of back in the super happy, fun era of fantasy football in 2020 and 2021. They have more been kind of conservative with him. Multiple coaching staffs have actually been relatively conservative with him and with his surroundings, but he's never had Mike McDaniel before, who is, I think, one of the offensive geniuses that currently exists in the NFL. Like, I don't really think, how many play callers, how many coaches, how many offensive coaches would you say are certainly better than Justin Herbert? I can't, than Mike McDaniel. I can't believe there are that many, And the film guys are very certain that Justin Herbert is him. I mean, basically the film guys all agree with Sam Monson that he is an MVP caliber player. Ladd McConkey, Quentin Johnston, Omarion Hampton. I mean, God forbid, Charlie Klare, my guy Keaton Missile. So one of the things that I'm going to be trying to do over the next 3 weeks or so is I am going to try and get my Chargers exposure up. I am going to be trying to get, what should we do here? It's going to be a D Henry team. Yeah. All right. We got a little bit of after ADP Derrick Henry. That's it's tough to do. My guy Hunter, if I wasn't the first YouTube member, I had to be close. Hey, big salute to my guy Hunter Goss, 1959. My guy Jackson Brennan is in the draft without realizing it. Good luck. I tell you what, I did kind of move on already from my guy Keandre Lambert-Smith, because there is another deep threat wide receiver on the Los Angeles Chargers who's pretty appealing to me, and he's actually referenced in a new video that's going to be coming out immediately after this over on the Matic Fantasy Football channel. There is a sleepers video that is going to be coming out after this video. You will be directed right towards it. So I hope that you guys go and watch that. And we have the JSN Derrick Henry start. And we were do I want to take Olave or do I want to take ETN? I'm going to give myself more. I'm going to take ETN because I'm going to be able to give myself more room to take Scattaboo if he falls to me at 44. And I'll almost certainly take a running back at 53, but maybe I'd like the optionality to select a wide receiver at 53. You know, someone's listening to a fantasy football podcast when someone says modal. That is the good stuff, Het. That is the good stuff. Can we call Brennan Thompson Booker T? I don't see why not. I mean, frankly, I would just like to know for a stone cold fact that Brennan Thompson makes the roster. I very much agree with this. I am also getting more and more bullish on Omarion Hampton, where I'm not certain that Omarion Hampton is that good, frankly. I mean, I think he's fine. You know, I don't think the dude is like Najee Harris or whatever, but just the ability to be the battering ram in that offense is so valuable. It's so valuable. He could definitely ship. Like, how many touchdowns could Omarion Hampton ship? Like, what do you guys think is realistic? What does your quant have for Omarion Hampton touchdowns? Like, the floor is probably in a healthy season like 8 touchdowns, and the ceiling would be like, I mean, would the ceiling be 20 touchdowns? 18 touchdowns, maybe? I mean, let's just go to Justin Herbert's Pro Football Reference and see who would have scored the most. So in 2020 for the Chargers, we had, okay, they were bad in 2020. They were quite bad in 2020. Who were their running backs then? Well, Austin Eckler, Joshua Kelly. Okay, 2021, how about that? Eckler had 20 touchdowns. Yeah, it's definitely possible. I'm gonna take, you know what? I'm gonna take Terry McLaurin here because another pairing that I'm trying to get a little bit more of is the Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin pairing. Thank you to my boys at the Toxic Tower. BBG Quant says 20 touchdowns. Hampton should be going right next to Genty ahead of Cook and Saquon. I very much could be right. That very, very much could be correct. Ooh, ice cold Diet Coke. GM getting more excited to turn my $70 of winnings in the MLB Lil Eliminator into $70 of football losses. It's positive mental attitude. That's an investor's mindset. All right, so we have got, wow, should I be taking running back here? Best advance rate here historically is 5 running backs. 3, 5, 7, 3, which is kind of my favored build anyway. It's going to be, okay, I was going to say, it's going to be very hard for me to pass on Loveland there, but he went. Let's just take Henderson. Henderson or Tootin? Yeah, Henderson is who I have ranked the highest. I don't love TreVeyon. Well, actually, I do really like TreVeyon Henderson because if Hayden wrote this great article, I mean, this is like 3 or 4 years ago now, but effectively, contingent value is the only thing. If we are sticking with the mindset, which is the mindset that I adhere to, that about, I don't know, 10 guys matter in fantasy football, then it would probably make the most sense to draft guys that we know can average like 20 fantasy points per game. Like if Courtland does his legendary upside article and doesn't include at least one paragraph on TreVeyon Henderson, I'm going to accuse him of being facetious. I'm going to accuse him of disingenuous touting because TreVeyon Henderson can easily be the story of the fantasy football season. I don't even really think this is debatable. TreVeyon Henderson without Ramondre Stevenson last year was, had this been the postseason, he would have been the guy you needed. 28 points, 32 points, 30 points, 17 points on 42% of the snaps in week 18 against Miami. I mean, he was phenomenal. He was a great fantasy football asset last year. And Ramondre is certainly going to be in the way, but I am probably not as concerned about his inability to hoist the backfield from Ramondre as your average fantasy football analyst. In fact, I would consider this is what we call a callback in the business. I would consider the modal outcome to be an outcome where that is what happens. I think that TreVeyon Henderson will have a better real football season at this stage, right? Oh my God, Quentin Johnson just went at 64. JMitz87 is a Herbert believer. My goodness gracious. Look at all these quarterback falls. Should I try and push it? I am going to try and push it. I'm going to take Makai Lemon. This is the first time I ever remember all of these quarterbacks surviving round 6. Look at this. Tate, Bucky, P-Wash, QJ, Price, Warren, Marv, all before any of the quarterbacks go. Goodness. Okay, well, all right. I guess bad decision there. Bad decision because Jaden Daniels and Drake May then immediately get snapped off, but that's very strange. What are we doing about Neighbors? I am drafting Neighbors. I disagree with my qualitatives. Jacob Sanderson, Pat Corain, sacrilegious, shady advice. My other qualitatives. I disagree with them pretty strongly on Malik Neighbors. They have been doing their best to convince me that I'm wrong, and I have not been convinced at this point. Well, I guess we are going to sub out one Mr. Jaden Dan. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm getting pilloried here, boys, because now Hurts goes. All right, well, I'm going to take Pollard then. So Henry, Etienne, TreVeyon Henderson, Pollard, JSN, McLaurin, and Makai Lemon. From this stage of the draft, I mean, we are certainly going to be going 3 quarterbacks. I don't really think there's much of a doubt about that. 17% advance rate historically, 3 quarterback build here. I'm thinking 5 running backs seem, 22% historical advance rate with the way we've done this capital. Okay. All right. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about that. I think we're locked in. Had to sit down with my wife and explain to her why a random best ball bro was saying my quant through the radio. My quant. Lemon butchered this team. I'm quite high on Lemon. I think the film bros are quite high. Not even I think. I know the film bros are quite high on Lemon. The data stuff on Lemon is very clear. The data stuff on Lemon is great, actually. Like he's probably underrated. And it's only because people, they hate Jalen Hurts, man. They hate Jalen Hurts. I did need a quarterback there, but I think this was the right. I believe this was the right way to play it. I mean, maybe I should have just taken Jaden Daniels. I guess, yeah. I guess that's the answer is you can never push quarterback anymore. Well, I've got Shuck with ETN, and I've got Darnold with JSN. I'm going to be okay. And I can take Mahomes, and I can take Kelsey. I can take Purdy and Stribling. I can take Dart and Likely here at this upcoming turn. Yeah, I guess I should have taken Daniels there. Okay. All right. Well, now that the quarterback wall, okay. All right. Well, now I'm eating it. Because now the quarterbacks are going to be gone from me, and I'm going to have to take one early here. So I guess you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. I mean, maybe I just push it even more. How late? Pick 92. It's not enough. All right, we're going to do Purdy. One Mr. Brock Purdy here. I was thinking maybe RJ Harvey there, but it's not even much of an ADP fall. Worried about Lemon's usage with Wicks being too good of a blocker in the new system in Philly. Yeah, but if you want a blocker, is Wicks a better blocker than Eli Stowers? I'm going to guess no. I'm going to guess that Dontavian Wicks is not a better blocker than Stowers, right? You guys answer that to me. If you needed to gain 5 yards on a running play, would you rather have 240-pound Eli Stowers doing the blocking or like 18-pound Dontavian Wicks doing the blocking. In which case, you want Lemon out there to provide more of the receiving threat. Wicks is a really good receiver in a really specific role, and I actually do think he is a pretty good, like, Wicks is a pretty good stylistic fit, actually, for Jalen Hurts and for the offense that I expect them to run. Because Hurts is kind of the, I'm going to put the ball where it needs to go and let the wide receiver make a play guy. I mean, Pearsall here for the easy stackability. We do need wide receiver. Is there a chance that Kittle gets back around to me? It's got to be a chance, right? All right, let's take Pearsall, because there's got to be a chance that Kittle gets back to pick 116. His ADP is 113. I like taking Wicks fine. I don't feel super strong about Dontavian Wicks. I mean, I have certainly felt stronger about Dontavian Wicks in years past than I do this year. I mean, that is categorically true. All right, check the advance rate stuff. Still 17% where I took Purdy. Still 22% if I get to 5 running backs. Still 21% if I get to 7 wide receivers, and it's definitely going to be. All right, I think we're cooking with gasoline here. This team feels quite nice. Why does the wide receiver 2 on the Titans and Saints go before the wide receiver 2 on the Bucks, Vikings, and Colts? It's a good question. Does the wide receiver 2 on the Titans go before the wide receiver 2 on the Bucks? There's more. I mean, there's certainly more ambiguity. Like Juwan Jennings could outscore Addison. That much is true. There's certainly plenty of questions about how the target dissemination in Tampa Bay would go. And the Colts might just be bad. The Colts are terrible. No, they're not terrible. They could be terrible. And also, I do agree with this. I mean, Jordan Tyson, I think, could outplay Chris Olave. What's my favorite combo from Philly wide receiver tight end room if you have Hurts? I mean, yeah, I think you want to go Hurts, Lemon, Stowers, right? That's the pure fun, because I think the Stowers bet is quite interesting. We forget about this stuff once we get into the season, but Dallas Goedert was like rumored to be done. They were his contract was over. They brought him back on a 1-year deal, and they're not paying him a ton of money. They're paying him like a fine amount of money. Wow. All right. Kittle does come back to us. Bang. Press the button on George Kittle there. I mean, is it worth, if Stafford gets to me, I mean, he's going to go to the Puka drafter. The Puka drafter is going to take Stafford right here. But if he doesn't take if he does not take Stafford, if Stafford gets all the way back around to me at 125, I'm taking him and backstacking him with Terrance Ferguson, and maybe I'll take Terrance Ferguson and Colby Parkinson. There you go. All right, Stafford goes. So how am I going to play quarterback on this one? Ward and Pollard. Darnold for sure. I mean, this might even have to turn into like a Mendoza team. Brock Purdy is the most important man in the world for this team. There's no way this team succeeds without Purdy. Getting to a spot of ADP value on Dubs. Kelsey might make a little bit of sense. There's like this tight end wall right here. Mandrews. Yeah, you know what? I will do a Romeo Dubs. I never really take him. Maybe he gets, I don't know. It's best I can do. Goddard will play more snaps than Stowers, but Stowers could easily have the more fantasy-friendly role. Unless they do the nonsense they were doing last year where they just kept... I was so infuriated by this every week. The short yardage touchdowns for Dallas Goedert. Yeah, no Darnold there. If I'm doing Darnold, if I am ever doing the Darnold JSN thing, I am pushing it. I don't want to have any of my Darnold ahead of ADP, really. Why don't I like Dubs? He's just not exciting. I don't know. Do I have a good reason for it? I mean, I don't expect him to dominate targets on this team. They have not traded Kaytron Boutte. Career like 1.8 yards per route run. Never had a 20% target share. He's fine. Dubs is fine. And maybe I should just be a little bit higher on the Patriots offense overall. Yes, this is a best ball mania. Certainly wouldn't bank on Cousins. Yeah, I'm not banking on Cousins at all. No Cousins for me. I'm pretty into Mendoza. I think Mendoza is right about the median you would expect for a number 1 overall quarterback prospect. He's big, 6'4". He ran a little bit. And I'm very, very high on Clint Kubiak. Kubiak, I think, is, if anything, kind of underrated, actually, as a play caller. Okay, just let me take my Sam Darnold here with JSN and no one gets hurt. Yep, there we go. Bang. Now, what do I want to do for a third? I could take Cam Ward if he gets to me. Very easy backstacks with Cam Ward. I could take Bryce Young. You got Brazel. You got Mendoza and Tucker. Maybe I'll just let the room decide for me what I'm going to do at third quarterback. Have I grown the show to the point that we are safely out of the State Farm territory? No, definitely not. If anything, you could probably argue the opposite because I have a child now. Do we really think AJ Brown will have a good Week 17 game against Surtain? You are probably talking to the wrong guy about that, brother. You probably would have to talk to Chess Liam about granular Week 17 matchups. It's just not really the kind of thing that I weigh too heavily when I'm drafting these things. When we look back 10 years from now, who will we say is a better number 1 overall pick, Cam Ward or Mendoza? My guess would be Mendoza. Ward was a very interesting prospect. I mean, he played a ton of college football and didn't play that well. Although, if I don't take Ward here, is there anyone I'm skipping who I really like? Not really. So I am going to take Cam Ward, and we're going to do the back stack there. Where am I at on Zach Charbonnet? I do not like Zach Charbonnet. I think most of the ways this season plays out are quite bad for Zach Charbonnet. He either struggles to get back in time from his injury. He returns from his injury, but Jadarian Price, who they spent the 32nd overall pick on, plays well. Or Jadarian Price plays poorly, and George Halani and Emmanuel Wilson play quite well. Really, the only scenario where Charbonnet comes back and has a super useful fantasy football role is Price is not what they anticipate at all. And they're totally comfortable saying, Emmanuel Wilson, George Halani, thanks for your service, but we are going to install Zach Charbonnet coming off of a torn ACL as our 15 touch per game running back, which I don't feel great about. Now, again, a big miss for me. I got this wrong last year with Christian Watson. I bet against Christian Watson. I was wrong to bet against Christian Watson. So maybe take what I have to say with a grain of salt. But in general, historically, I've been lower on the injury return guys. Although there are some injury return guys I like this year, so maybe you just can't take what I say seriously at all. All right, we are about to be back up. Tight end is kind of what we need, but there aren't really any obvious ones. I think I am probably going to do a running back here, and I'm going to take Tank Bigsby, who really is basically just my favorite running back too. I think you get a little bit of standalone value from him, just a smidge. Maybe he gets 1 week where he scores for you, but I do think the contingent value is massive. Are we sleeping on Pacheco if he gets the Montgomery role? It depends on who you ask. I know Pacheco has his fans out there in the fantasy football community. My guess is that Pacheco doesn't play particularly well in that role, and Gibbs ends up being just a true workhorse. I also think that James Conner or Trey Benson could end up following their former offensive coordinator, Drew Petzberg, to Detroit after they get waived, because there's just not enough room there on the roster. I mean, I guess I just got to take Helm now so that I don't get sniped. Jester Gooner, a little bit ahead of ADP, but fine there. So now we have got a 3-5-5-2, Purdy, Darnold, Ward, Derrick Henry, Travis Etienne Jr., TreVeyon Henderson, Tony Pollard, Tank Bigsby, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Terry McLaurin, Makai Lemon, Ricky Pearsall, Romeo Dubs, George Kittle, and Jester Gunnar Helm. Tank got to be the worst running back on the board. I mean, that just seems like kind of a silly thing to say. Like, he's no different than Algier or Spears or Robinson or any of these guys, right? What is any different? What is the difference between Blake Corum and Tank Bigsby? I'm just not certain. Would I ever play the World Series of Poker main event? Yeah, I mean, yeah, that would be an absolute dream. I have loved poker for a long time. I've played actually a ton of poker in my life, but would need to generate the cash. I don't know. Is Corum going to get way more work? I kind of maybe have a hard time with that. I feel like our memories of Corum are maybe a little slanted. He had 14 points on 7 rushes, 26 points on 12 rushes, 13 points on 11 rushes, 13 points on 14 rushes. So he had one little stretch where he was okay. He didn't get any work in the passing game. Never topped 40% of the snaps in a game that Kyron also played. I don't know. I mean, he's fine. I have no ill will for Corum, but I just think he's kind of whatever. Do I want to take Ridley here? Yeah. Yep. No, let's take Dalton Schultz. Little bit of ADP value there on Mr. Schultz, and then we can be done at tight end, and this can actually not be a Terrance Ferguson team. Who is the best ball tout poker player? I have no idea. I mean, Levitan has played a lot. What's the difference between Corum and Bigsby? This is why you're a bottom 1%. I mean, what did Corum do last year? Corum was a below average advance rate guy. So what's the difference? I'd love to hear. What tournament did you win? Kadarius Toney 8969. Show me the tournament you won. I'd love to see it. Show me. All ears, brother. Man, you know what? I'm just gonna take Cooper Kupp. Oh, no, I'm not, because he already got drafted. All right, let's do Surratt. Still waiting, bro. Show me your tournament winning team. I notice you seem to not be responding, so I guess you haven't won shit either, huh? Funny to say that Tank is a bag pick when his analytics were off the chart. I mean, the deal with all of these guys is that they are bad picks unless someone gets injured. It's why the sim-based tools are telling you to wait or to draft running backs early, because the projection for Sean Tucker, Ray Davis, Algier, Tank Bigsby, these guys, they're all quite low unless someone gets injured ahead of them. All right, let's go pull up Blake Corum's projection compared to Tank Bigsby. Maybe I am totally off. Tank Bigsby. Tank Bigsby projected for 83 rushes, 3 touchdowns. Los Angeles Rams. Corum projected for 168. Okay, well, there's a meaningful difference there. That is actually interesting to me. I don't know if I agree with that. No, I asked you what tournament you won. Kadarius Toney 8969. I asked what tournament you won because it seems to me that you have quite a bit of knowledge. So I'm wondering what tournament you won, brother. What did you win? What how are you an authority on fantasy football? All right, so tell me the tournament you won, brother. Ship it to me. What's the since you're so good at fantasy football, hit me with the shipper. I wonder if Torrey Horton is draftable. Probably not. Booty? No, you don't want Booty and Dubs together. Who does Mason have ranked the highest? Mason has Mooney ranked the highest. Don't love that. Man, these wide receivers stink. Taekwon? I do draft a lot of Taekwon. Lane, Yoshibas, DK. Well, spoiler alert. I'm just going to take Taekwon. I've drafted Io Manor a couple times. Feels like there's a potential winner there if Ridley gets traded. All right. How did we do here? Ooh, A- grade. S tier advancement, B- ADP, A- uniqueness. Yeah, Horton had what, like 6 touchdowns last year? All right. We did JSN, Derrick Henry, ETN Jr. And I tell you what, I'm having a really hard time with Zay Flowers in the 30s. That seems crazy to me. Maybe I am wrong, but it does seem tough to me. All right, McLaurin at 44. I would take the McLaurin pick now, and I would have just taken Waddle because my plan was to get Jaden Daniels, and the plan didn't work. TreVeyon Henderson at 53 is fine. This was the pick I messed up. I should have just taken a quarterback here instead of taking Lemon. Pollard at 77. Purdy 92. Pearsall and Kittle with Purdy. Dubs, Sam Darnold, Cam Ward, Tank Bigsby, Gunnar Helm, Dalton Schultz, Elijah Surratt, and Tyquan Thornton to end it. Have I seen an A+ draft? Yeah. I can probably sort by. Actually, not even. I know I can pull up an A+ one. Yeah, Kittle falling was a huge help here. Which, when you take the quarterback first, you kind of control that dynamic. So that's something that I like, where you kind of get that with Lamar and Mark Andrews. You get that with Herbert and Gadsden. You get that with Mayfield and Jalen McMillan or Ted Hurst, like generally speaking. Let's see. Let's pull up let's sort by advancement. Oh, ooh. I actually meant to go through these, my little Dalmatian ones. All right, here's an S tier advancement. Mendoza, oh God. I messed up the quarterbacks here. Okay, here's a good one. Herbert, Nix, Rodgers, Walker, Kyron, Javonte, Judkins, Dobbins, Jefferson, BTJ, Jaden Reed, Khalil Shakir, Jalen Coker, Debo Samuel, Flournoy, Dulcich, Gesicki, Ingram. Sure, that feels fine. The Zay Flowers bull case is Andrews is dust and Zay gets 160 targets is the only viable pass catcher. I think that is a pretty rational and reasonable bull case. I'm not gonna argue against that. All right. Well, let's go back to the lobby. I was thinking there's got to be they're gonna do something new today, right? BBM, Elim, weekly winners, Big Dog, Mastiff, Pitbull, the Dalmatian. I'm already done. Yeah, you know what? We'll do an eliminator. Oh, all right. Got to enter on my phone. This has been happening to me a good amount recently, where I've been getting the location error on all gambling websites. Anything that is gambling or best ball or whatever, I've been getting the location error. Where'd it go? The eliminator. All right, here we go. Locking in. Oh, this is a slow. Did I not enter on my phone? Oh, here we go. No, this is also a slow. I swear I entered on my phone. Side question. No, it says I'm on my phone. Side question. How are your World Pups going? I honestly did a bad job advancing. I did not draft enough Joshua Kimmich, and I drafted I basically just drafted too many French guys, which is funny because they're so good, but they didn't score very well. And so because those guys didn't score very well, I've fallen off. I got 30 advanced through. Although, I mean, if I get 10 through it, 10 of 30 through, then I'm right back in it. I have to wait. This is what it does, is it takes me to this spinny circle. All right. Command F, Eliminator, the one without the orange circle. Here we go. All right. Hey, the battle of Davis against technology. All right, we're drafting at 12. Chi-Town True, Gladarin, Shea, Illustrious Fox, Mojo Rising, JR Dave 7, Kenny the Jet, Frank Dura, Mile High Jabroni, T-Boner 80, and then Chris. Got to see Mbappe in person. Yeah, that's so sick. That's so sick. No World Cup games for me. Missed out. Huge bummer. But, we ride. The World Cup has been phenomenal. This is I think probably every World Cup, I would imagine, people feel is the best one as it's happening, because there's so much going on. It's emotional, whatever, but this does feel like the best World Cup of my life. I mean, I guess 2022, the Argentina-France final was like unbelievable. And this is certainly the best the US men have ever played. The US men have never played this well in my adulthood. All right. Let's do, I'm definitely going to take one of these running backs. I'm probably going to double tap the running backs. Yeah, I'm going to do Cook, and I'm going to do Barkley. Week 7 bye for Cook, week 10 for Barkley. But the decisions left to me at running back at the 3-4 turn are going to be dark. Yeah, 2022 World Cup final has got to be up there with one of my top 5 games I've ever watched of all time. Great World Cup at the group stage, felt like preseason because of how many advanced, but there were still great games in the group stages, though. Right? Oh, good note from Jordan here. James Cook opens up against Houston. Not my favorite week 1 matchup. And I just need him to scam 2 touchdowns. And I'm definitely going to take probably one more running back at the 3-4 turn anyway. Oh my gosh. This dude just took Josh Allen at 15. Is Numi going to throw this one out? Morocco, Cote d'Ivoire game, incredible. Yes. I mean, I guess the bad games, Paraguay, Australia was bad. England and Ghana were bad. Those are really the only 2 I can remember being like truly dreadful. I can't think of another one that was just like, dude, I don't want to watch this. This stinks. And we have some absolute bangers coming today. Switzerland, Algeria. I know it's late. It's going to be like after my bedtime, but that is a huge potential banger. What did I think of Balogun's red card last night? Hard for me to say that it should be a red card, and I really think it should be rescinded. It won't be rescinded. Sweden versus whoever when it was 0-0. Dude, the hydration breaks are terrible. Ken Walker at pick 22. Some of these guys are living my dream. Some of these guys are living my dream. I hate it. All right. Well, the wide receivers are actually going early in this. Egbuka at 30, Pickens at 21. London got all the way to 25. This is a wild room. All right. Let's do, I'm definitely taking Rashee Rice if Chris doesn't take him. Chris should take Josh Jacobs. Chris is, yeah. Oh, all right. Well, bye week 11, and then Wilson's not until bye week 13. This is a wild draft. In what ways do you change your structure? You just tilt your production early in the season. You care a lot less about rookies. The quarterbacks with sketchy playing time, Mendoza, some of these guys, Mendoza to me is a tough click in the Eliminator. Elite tight end, I like a lot less. I think Bowers and McBride should definitely go after their Best Ball Mania ADP. And some of the hopium guys, like for example, I probably won't have very much Burden in the Eliminator, where the reason that I am drafting Burden is because I think that Burden can be a round 1 pick next year, which obviously would be very useful in the Eliminator, but I also can be rational and acknowledge there's a big chance he just kind of is a normal guy who scores 12 points per game. He kind of becomes that style guy, and Adunze is the touchdown scorer. Wicks and Adonai Mitchell are great Eliminator picks for sure. Oh, yes. And bye weeks matter a ton. You want to have your bye weeks varied. So I have a bye week 7, bye week 10, bye week 11, and bye week 13. To me, that's a great start. Your positional groupings, you want to spread the bye weeks out. Obviously, like a big thing you should do, and I have not gotten there yet, is like schedule analysis. So I have not started to schedule out like, oh, this team has a really soft schedule. This team has a really hard schedule. Like I am not there yet. It's work that I should do. What I've been doing in the Eliminator is I've just entered one Eliminator slow. I started it, I guess, on Monday. I started entering one Eliminator slow, and then I'm gonna draft some of them on stream. Factually true. It's a thing that it's obviously a little bit more complex than this, but technically, you only have to beat 200, you only have to beat 22 entrants in the Eliminator win $200,000. So 6 out of 12. Then you beat one person for 15 weeks, then one person in week 16. My thoughts on the World Pup now. Yeah, Shirky is basically the guy who killed me. I kept taking the French guy. I kept taking the secondary French players, and they have not scored any. They've not scored any points. It's just been Mbappe, Elise, Dembele, Doué, and Barcola. Which, it is what it is. All right, we are about to be up. We have 3 running backs. We have 1 wide receiver. Devontae Adams feels like a very elim pick. Man, Tony Pollard at pick 60. You think you know a guy? Fantasy football gone wild. I actually quite like, I'm going to do Price, and then I'm going to take Brian Thomas Jr. Price was another week 11 buy, but that's fine. It's extra fine because I took James Cook, who I don't think is going to have a particularly good week 1 score. So I actually think that makes a little bit of sense. I mean, maybe I should. Tony Pollard ahead of Jadarian Price with David Montgomery. Team 3 is having a nice draft. Chase, Walker, Javonte McLaurin, and Lamar Jackson. I'm not huge. I'm not massive on the elite quarterbacks here, but I do think Lamar, if I was going to take one, it would be Lamar at this price. I would not be taking Josh Allen in the 3rd in the Eliminator. I have a tougher time with that. Pollard ahead of Price in all formats. I don't know, man. I think I'm a Jadarian Price guy. I think that's where I'm at. I think I am a Jadarian Price guy. And maybe this will end up being a real Rashad Penny situation. I mean, famously, Rashad Penny. It's just funny because there is a clear organizational thing that goes through. But look at this. So we've got the 2018 Seattle Seahawks. Rashad Penny was the 27th overall pick in the 2018 NFL draft. I don't remember. It's been so long, I forget the exact circumstances, but he gets 85 rushes behind Mike Davis and Chris Carson. Incredible foreshadowing if that ends up being what happens. I actually got reminded of that on X, the Everything app. The bad pass blocking for Price feels limiting to me. I mean, is George Halani? I guess Halani is he's got to be a good pass blocker because he plays so much on passing downs. But he can't be that good. And how do we even know that Price is a bad pass blocker? Just because he didn't play on passing downs that much. I mean, generally speaking, rookies are bad pass blockers. George Halani pass blocking. He had 50 reps for all of last year. I mean, he's got 52 pass blocking snaps in his NFL career. You know, I don't know. Not really convincing. Neither Halani nor Emmanuel Wilson are really convincing to me. And Charbonnet did not have his ACL procedure until February. So it's a long runway. For Jadarian Price to prove that he's good. Price is not tiny, right? He's just a normal sized guy. I think he's like 210 pounds. I mean, he's bigger than TreVeyon Henderson. Is consistently having an above average advance rate year over year past the first round of these tournaments enough to justify maxing out? I mean, I don't know. You're really asking the wrong guy. All right, we're gonna do. Man, you know what? Here's an Elam ass pick, boys. I'm gonna take Courtland Sutton, and then I'm gonna take Trevor Lawrence with Brian Thomas Jr. Courtland Sutton is an Elam ass pick. If Walker can't get 65% of the snaps, Price definitely can't. I would not be that certain about that at all. That doesn't feel true to me. Because the offensive coordinator is gone. Also, Kenneth Walker has had multiple stretches for the team where he did play over 60% of the snaps. Kenneth Walker, I want to say it was the 2024 season. Is that right? 2024. Yeah, 2024, he played a big stretch. I mean, really, he actually played quite a bit in 71, 76, 84%. I guess did he get injured at this point? I don't even really remember. I think Price is probably going to be the goal line guy. I hate it as much as the next guy, but does Sutton's price feel too good? Honestly, I'm very low on Sutton in Best Ball Mania, and I'm very high on Jalen Waddle. But this is kind of a format that is built for Courtland Sutton. Bo Nix led the National Football League in pass attempts last year. I mean, I think you're going to get your 6.5 targets per game, 7 targets per game for Courtland Sutton. He probably scores 6 touchdowns. I just think if there's a true fantasy football breakout on that team, it is almost certainly going to be Jalen Waddle. Walker splitting time with Charbonnet is night and day to price splitting with Helani. That's basically my viewpoint. I do not think that George Helani has enough cachet inside of that team. I don't think that he is good enough to demand. Also, worth noting that Walker still got lots of touches. Like Walker's snap to touch ratio was still quite high. Ooh, big news. My guy Fresno Kid has come around on Keaton, thinking about if McDaniel can make Darren Waller look good. Why not Keaton? Well, Keaton is good. Keaton is quite good, I think. My opinion. Keaton Mitchell is a really talented running back. Crazy high rushing yards over expectation. The Diet Coke is hitting today. All right, what am I going to... Very good decision of me to take Trevor Lawrence, by the way, because look at the quarterbacks that are here now. Oh, my God. Mahomes is still there? This is the craziest thing about the Eliminator to me. This is the wildest thing about the Eliminator to me. People are just totally over Mahomes. This guy Chris is going to take him from me though, and I'm not going to be able to take him. That is so annoying. All right. I'm going to keep pushing it at tight end. I'm actually going to take Kyler Murray to be my second quarterback. I don't care about having him stacked. I like rushing quarterbacks in Eliminator because they add some floor in there. All right. I'm a Ravens fan, and Keaton Mitchell is the NFL's best kept secret ball knower. Do I have any flag plant players that you are comfortable being overweight on or willing to draft ahead of ADP? Well, I can pull up my highest owned guys. So I'm through 992 imported drafts, 290 Terrance Ferguson teams, 238 Burden teams, 234 Worthy teams, Helm, Walker, Tootin, Zachariah Branch, and then Malik Willis, Caleb Williams, Keaton Mitchell, Patrick Mahomes, Rashee Rice. That basically kind of summarizes how I feel. I mean, I guess it makes a little bit of sense. The Chiefs do open the year playing against the Denver Broncos. And Mahomes could start the year. He could start it slower. You know, maybe he just kind of has to feel it out. I would be very interested to see if he plays in the preseason. You know, like do we get any of him playing? And that would be big. I think Mahomes playing in the preseason, just like, can I see him? Tyquan Thornton only on my DK teams or what? You know, I just haven't gotten hip to him. Like I was not taking him at all in the pre-draft stuff. The Tyquan stuff has been very bullish, like more bullish than I anticipated. They're just talking about him as a straight up like starter, to the point that Kansas City Chiefs blogs are writing things like Chiefs forcing Tyquan Thornton into a primary role he might not be ready for. I mean, that might just be like AI slop. Like, who knows? Like when you're reading these things, it's always so funny. I don't know if you guys have this experience. Like, I obviously do a lot of searching for fantasy football news Like, I just want to know what's going around the internet. And it's very funny to me to just find pure slop. Like, it's no human being oversaw this at all. It's literally just a Claude prompt, you know? All right. Ooh, Ferguson with the week 14 bye feels pretty good here. Yeah, we're going to, oh my God, this guy, Chris, is the single most annoying guy to draft against. All right, we're going to go Goddard with a week 10 bye, and then I'm going to take Stephon Diggs. This Diggs price is insane. Why no Max Klare love? Second round pick, should see the field a lot, but crowded tight end room. I don't think he'll play at all. My guess is Max Klare plays about 8 snaps a game. I mean, so Terrance Ferguson was also a second round pick, and look how long it took him to earn a meaningful role last year. He was not active. He didn't receive a target until week 5. This game was when the week 7 game against Jacksonville was when Puka was hurt. He scaled up. Then he earned a role for the rest of the season. He was a big part of their offense at the end of the season, but I'm going to guess that Klare like basically just doesn't play. Or takes like Tyler Higbee snaps. Like what were Tyler Higbee snaps last year? Tyler Higbee played he played a lot, actually. I kind of forgot about that. Huh. Who knew? I mean, that guy did absolutely nothing. I guess he was hurt. I don't know. My projection is that Ferguson ends up being the lead dog. That's my projection, and that Colby Parkinson is the complimentary one. Klare can play some. I mean, they have no wide receivers. You guys want to start naming third wide receivers for the Los Angeles Rams? Jordan Whittington, Xavier Smith, Kanata Mumfeld. Higbee is also making like no money. Like people talk about him being on the team. He signed a 2-year deal. You guys tell me how real you think this contract is. 2 years, $6 million. He can be cut for absolutely nothing. He has an active roster bonus. So that roster bonus is actually a pretty big deal because it means that they can cut him. Why did the Rams not sign Diggs? I think because they're fine with Ferguson being their third wide receiver. That is my guess. Do I have any initial truth serum thoughts heading into the season? I think that my primary truth serum that I am both excited and scared by is that we are all overreacting to running backs largely staying healthy last year and are how all the slappies are drafting running backs like crazy. I think we see a potential big change back to the way fantasy football has worked for 10 years where running backs get hurt, wide receivers. This guy, all right, dude. Chris, fuck off, man. Come on, dude. Come on. Dalton Schultz, Geno Smith. Dude, Chris, wherever you are, come on, man. Come on, dude. You really needed Mahomes and Brenton Strange that bad? Yeah, I mean, Mumfield will play. Mumfield will play some. Xavier Smith will play some. They'll all play some. I think we honestly, like, for the way that I've drafted Ferguson, I just need him to score like 6 touchdowns. But 5 years before that, the landscape was just like this with running back. Time is a flat circle. Yeah, except it was bad though. The landscape at that point, they were drafting suboptimally. Just tuned in and Davis is talking about Terrance Ferguson. They made me do it, bro. They were asking me about Max Klare. They made me do it. I didn't even bring it up. McVay likes experienced players. Puka was the exception. Well, Josh, you've been around the streets for a long time. You played a lot of fantasy football. What is your read on what the Rams are going to do pass catcher wise? Hunter, yeah, I'm not clicking Hunter in the Eliminator, really. In the world where Walker has his nutted outcome, where does he then get drafted next year? You know, I think just because McCaffrey and Taylor are likely going to be drafted lower, Genty will be drafted higher, Henry will be drafted lower, Cook will be drafted lower, Barkley will be drafted lower, Hampton will be drafted higher, Chase Brown will be drafted about in the same range. Walker could be like a 1-2 turn pick next year. Could Eric All Jr. see the field for the Bengals this year? I mean, I don't know if he's a hidden gem, but I definitely think he's going to play this year. I don't think you can go and let Gesicki play all these snaps. Who's there? They have Drew Sample. They have another guy, Tanner McLaughlin, I want to say, who also got injured. Is he still on the roster? Their tight end room is Sample. Oh my God, the freaking ads on our lads always are annoying me. Drew Sample, Gesicki, Eric All. Oh, Tanner Hudson. Preseason All-Star Tanner Hudson. Brian Robinson Jr., no good here. Braylon Allen, no good here. You know what? Jaden Blue, man. I'm not afraid. Even in the Elim, I'm not afraid. Can I wait on tight? No, I can't wait on tight end. And you know what? I kind of actually need a more. I'm going to take Freiermuth instead of Ferguson. It's so funny. My like slap index at tight end is so broken because I draft a lot of Terrance Ferguson and Helm, but I also draft Dalton Schultz and Pat Freiermuth and these guys too. Like tight end is just a very funny position. Walker's like, he's like a mid-second round pick, right? He's like 16. I think his ADP next year can be 11. How about that? I think Kenneth Walker's ADP next year can be 11. If Puka or Devontae gets injured, it's not the wide receiver that's going to benefit. I mean, we saw a game last year. Let's go pull this game up because we saw a game that Puka got injured last year. Game logs 2025. He didn't play. So he didn't play week 7. So let's go next game for the Rams. He didn't play in that blowout game against the Jags. So in that game, no Puka. Adams had 5 for 35 and 3 touchdowns. Whittington had 2 for 9. Higbee had 3 for 19. I guess this game ended up being such a blowout, it's hard to learn anything. In terms of the snap counts, we had Whittington 60, Adams 59, Xavier Smith 47, then Mumfield. Davis Allen played the most snaps at tight end, followed by Tiefer. Yeah, I guess the blowout kind of obfuscates what happened in that game. Oh, Genty is definitely going in the top 5 next year. I think Genty can be the 101 next year. What odds do I honestly give the U.S. of beating Belgium without Balogun? I mean, they should be favored. They are a better, more physical team. Frankly, in a way that is very surprising, the United States is also very technical. Like the Tyler Adams, Weston McKinney midfield with Anthony Robinson kind of like providing the width. They're very good. Honestly, like and I know it's kind of hard if you don't watch a ton of soccer to understand this. Balogun is not even like one of the 5 most important guys on the team to get hurt. Like if you were or to miss the game, if you were going to draft the guys in order of like who you wouldn't want to miss, I mean, I would say Tyler Adams to me would be number 1. Tyler Adams is very, very important to them. McKinney, very important. Pulisic, very important. Probably Robinson 4. Like Ricardo Pepe or Haji Wright. This is definitely not true. This is all due respect, definitely wrong that he's the 100% the most important. All right. 3-5-5-3. Let's drop in. You know what? Let's do a Pat Bryant. Our running backs really should be good. Pat Bryant and you know what? Kayshon Boutte also. That's a pretty easy pick. Roast my exposures. 51% Claiborne. Love it. Emmett Johnson, 38%. I don't love it as much. I think you're about to learn. I think you're about to learn Amari DiMercado. Diggs, 32%. Great. Dulcich, 31%. Great. Golden, 27%. Love it. Judkins, 27%. That to me would be the scariest one. Those are not bad. I did watch Pepe versus, or I did watch him versus Turkey. I just think I'm not saying that Balogun is not good. Balogun is very, very good. But we have more ability to play around that than we would. Like Berhalter coming in for Tyler Adams would be a huge mistake. It would just be a huge error. Tyler Adams is very, very good, in my opinion. I agree. Balogun is our legit only high end striker. I'm not saying it's good that Balogun is out. I would greatly prefer him to play. We also have good goal scoring wingers. I actually would not be opposed to him starting Reyna. They will not do it, but I would not be opposed to Reyna starting. What lessons can we learn from Caleb Johnson last year? I think the only lesson to be learned is you got to read the coach speak correctly, because the coach speak made this pretty evident. It is not like England losing Harry Kane. No, it is not like England losing Harry Kane. Well, it's not like England losing Harry Kane because England is just a much better footballing nation than us, and they have plenty of other strikers who are quite good. And Balogun is not as good as Harry Kane. All right. How did we do on this one? Lawrence, Kyler, Gino, James Cook, Barkley, Josh Jacobs, Jadarian Price, Jaden Blue, Garrett Wilson, Brian Thomas Jr., Courtland, Sutton, Xavier Worthy, Stephon Diggs, Pat Bryant, Kayshon Boutte, Dallas Goedert, Dalton Schultz, Pat Freiermuth. Could be better, could be worse. All right, let's go ship another one. What should we do? Is there a new contest out? It just passed. It's noon. Did we get anything new? Nope. Nothing new. All right, let's go do another BBM. 89. Oh my God, this is so annoying. All right. Best ball mania. All right, entered. I already maxed the Dalmatian goods. Sad to say, already maxed the Dalmatian. Best ball mania. All right, we are drafting in the 12 slot again with JTL 33, E Mueller 86, Dangletron 81, Illustrious Fox, Money Mike, Henny Ud Bottle, Rumsey 182, Mile High Jabroni, Sanchusi, TM Longacre, and A-Dub 0. Let's lock in and draft a shipper out of the 12 slot. Can Mexico beat England? I think it's been 30 years or something since Mexico has lost at the Azteca, and they are playing 7,600 feet above sea level, and Mexico have been training there the whole time, whereas England are going to be there for 3 days. I would say, I mean, is England favored in that game? Or I was going to say Mexico might even be favored in that game. Let's look. All right, drafting out of the 12 slot. Hey, it's probably gonna this is probably gonna end up being a Kenneth Walker team. World World Cup, Mexico versus England. England's minus 140 right now. Yeah, higher than Denver. It's insane. It's a huge, huge, huge advantage for Mexico. They lost there in 2013 to Honduras. Okay. All right. You guys are gonna get to see my my dumb American geography. I'm assuming that Honduras is even more acclimatized to the elevation than the Mexicans would be. Does that matter? I don't know. I'd be fine with this. I would be fine moving Tillman up front. I'd be fine playing Pulisic centrally. I'd be fine playing Reyna centrally. That is all fine by me. I'd be fine playing Haji right centrally. Any of those things work for me. And in Poch, we trust. Pochettino, unbelievably good manager. All right, well, not going to get Genty. Yeah, never get Genty. All right, let's do, you know what? Let's do Cook and Hampton. Cook and Hampton. Fine by me. This is a safe space. Are there any players you don't want to admit you like or dislike when streaming with the ADP chasing guys? No, I mean, the guy that I'm taking now that I wish that I didn't take is Parker Washington. Not a fan of taking Parker Washington, but I take it. When Parker Washington gets his contract extension, how high is he going to go? Parker Washington gets, what do we call it? 3 years, $65 million. How high is he going to go in these drafts? Is he going to get to, he can't get to the 50s, can he? I guess he could. Honestly, people love Parker. Here you go. People love Parker Washington, Parker Smith and Jigba. I think, what did Liam call him? Liam called him JSN, Jaguar Smith and Jigba. I mean, again, I can't get there. I think it is unlikely that he ends up being that important. Honduras is only 684 feet above sea level. Well, there you go. Dumb American. What is my feel on Tyreek Hill and Braylon Allen? I watched a video on Tyreek Hill's YouTube channel last week. Someone in the chat had pointed it out to me. And the evidence of that video to me suggests that Tyreek Hill is probably going to play football this year. Again, this is not a popular opinion. No one wants to put their name on Tyreek Hill as an option this year, but watching the video on Tyreek's YouTube channel, his knee and his leg looked pretty steady and seemed pretty motivated, you know? I don't know. And I like Braylon Allen too. Although reports are that Braylon Allen weighs 245 pounds, which is big. That is a big boy. That's almost Darnell Washington size. You know, I think I'm ready to flip to this. I think I'm ready to say that Tyreek Hill is a better pick than Brandon Ayuk. I think I'm ready. I think we can get there. What is Brandon Ayuk going to do to me? What's Brandon Ayuk going to do? Stab me? Man who just got stabbed. Parker Washington has wide receiver 1 overall upside. See that? The Parker Washington bros, they are getting too bold. We've let you guys get away with way too much because there's no way you just told me that you think Parker Washington has wide receiver 1 overall upside. That's crazy, bro. All right, we're going to double up on Chargers and double up on that. We're going to do Egbuka. So we got Cook, Hampton, Ladd, Egbuka. Very chalk team right here. My uniqueness grade here is going to be quite poor. Bro, I don't even I don't even care about the week 7 buys. 40% Tyreek Hill. Hey, man, live the life. Yes, you know what? This is, I got Honduras and Bolivia confused. Thank you. Thank you, Frederick Warren. Bolivia is the goated high altitude splits. Yes. If Willis plays well, but the Dolphins still end up with the number 1 pick, what are the odds they keep him? I mean, 100% they'll keep him because he's not even making that much money. No, they'll just keep him, and if someone wants to trade for him, they'll let him trade, but they're not gonna cut him. I can't click the Egbuka button over Garrett Wilson or Tet ever. I mean, let me bring you guys into my process. Maybe this will help you guys understand me better. But a lot of my draft strategy, I can be swayed on marginal decisions pretty easy because I don't really have a strong opinion on who's a better pick, Garrett Wilson or Emeka Egbuka. So if I just read a tweet thread about Emeka Egbuka and it was very bullish Emeka Egbuka, then probably the next time that I will draft, I'll probably err on the side of Emeka Egbuka. And then if the next time I go into a draft, I just listen to some podcast or watch some YouTube video that was highlighting how good the range of outcomes for Tedroy and McMillan are, I'll probably take Ted. Because I do so many drafts, I can't just draft the same dudes every time, you know? If you were, I mean, I guess some people do. Who's that guy, FFB Wizard, who advances like 50% of his teams every year? I thought Schopp made a decent point this week when you guys are naming all the guys for the Chargers. Maybe the correct pick is just Herbert. Yeah, I mean, people are saying Herbert's going to win MVP. I mean, I actually kind of agree with this, that Waddle has a similar amount of upside to Egbuka, but because I am very high on Jalen Waddle, I think Jalen Waddle can be close to what he did as a rookie and as a second-year player. I mean, Jalen Waddle, this is a true people forget. Do you guys remember the wide receiver 11 season? 14.1 points per game is the wide receiver 2 playing with Tyreek Hill. The guy is really good at football, and it's just been covered up by how bad the Dolphins have been. The Dolphins have basically been the most disappointing team in the NFL 2 seasons in a row. Yeah, at least one person is saying that he should have won MVP last year. You don't think Egbuka can finish as like the wide receiver 9? I think he probably can. Did I do any World Cup contests on Underdog? Yeah, I maxed the contest, brother. All right. Oh, come on. This guy, don't take Tootin. Don't take Tootin. He's going to. Oh, God, I thought I did it. All right. Let's go Price. And let's go. No chance I'm going to get Rome. You know what? I'll take Tyler Warren. That's a guy I don't take very much. Sure. Why not? Why not? Why is Tootin going this late? You answer that to me, brother. I have Tootin ranked well ahead of ADP. Yes, guy in the 6 hole, JSN, AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, Jalen Waddle, Jameson Williams. There are still some good young pure men alive. If Marvin Harrison has been pretty bad across multiple quarterbacks in years, what do you have the percentage that he's actually worth his spot this year? Seems like almost 100% a draft capital pick. He's had some stretches. Like Marvin Harrison Jr. has had some games where you're like, wow, I totally get it. Remember the Rams game? I want to say it was like his 4th game as a rookie. He had the 3 touchdowns in the 1 quarter. I think Marvin Harrison Jr.'s price this year is fine. Maybe even good. Maybe even good. Ooh, this is actually a great question because this happens every year. Which team, in your opinion, is most likely to go from worst to first? All right, well, here are our options. The Jets, no. The Titans, no. The Browns, no. The Raiders, no. Giants, maybe the Giants. The Saints definitely could. The Cardinals couldn't. So I would say I would handicap it Saints 1, Vikings 2, Giants 3. Yeah. So the Saints or the Vikings. Why such a quick no for the Titans? Cam Ward's not that good, bro. He's not that good. What about worst to average? The Titans could go from worst to average, no doubt. No doubt. Yeah, they could definitely go from worst to average. I don't think they can win the division. The Jags are too good, and the Texans honestly are too good. I think the Jags are likely going to be one of the 3 or 4 best teams in the NFL. If he's 20th in the NFL, my Gunnar Helm bags are feeling good. Saints, Titan, Vikings, come on, the Raiders, Artillery Frost. The Raiders. The Raiders will never win the AFC West in my lifetime. If you can get someone to bet that, if you can get a market maker to make that, the Raiders ever winning the AFC in Davis Maddox's lifetime, take that bet because it's not happening. Wow. All right, Herbert. That's a bang. Do I want to do Jaden Reed or do I want to do Addison or Godwin or you know what? Let's do Downs. Let's double up on Colts. So we got Herbert, Cook, Hampton, Price, Ladd, Egbuka, Downs, and Warren. So, C plus grade. Not loving that. I guess the Lions were a last place team. I guess that is true. So the Lions definitely. No, the Vikings technically finished behind them. To do a Bill Simmons, the Raiders could be frisky. The Raiders could definitely be frisky. The Raiders could win 8 games this year, no doubt. Am I too slap brained if I'm looking into who is reffing World Cup games? I think the refs have been okay. All right, there you go. Kev will be the market maker for the Raiders bet. What if I get on the Brian Johnson life plan and witness the year 2095 Raiders divisional championship? Well, yeah, if you listen to the AI guys, we're all going to live forever now. AI is going to solve digital immortality. So maybe. You weren't alive in 2003. I said from here on out. From the So this is what's going to happen. Patrick Mahomes' mere existence has changed the moral arc of the universe. The Chiefs will never be a laughingstock again, even when he's gone. They will carry on his resonance. I'm sure he'll become like a part owner of the team, and it's just not going to happen in my lifetime. The Raiders could easily finish above the Chiefs this year. All right. I'll happily be the market maker on that one as well. I got a Neuralink chip implanted in my brain so I can draft in my subconscious. Imagine drafting on like Meta glasses or something. You wouldn't even have to tap on your phone. You could just be like, all right, Meta glasses, draft Josh Downs. I started thinking about what team I'm going to root for when Mahomes retires. I think I'll just retire from football. I think when Mahomes is done, I think that'll just be it for me. I can do something else. Plenty of jobs out there. Why not? What do I need to be talking about football when I'm 54? It's over. You know what I'll do? When Mahomes is done, I will go get a philosophy PhD or a creative writing PhD. And that'll just be it. That'll be it for me. I can do something else with my life, finally. How much of a dipperino is this on? Okay, well, I was going to say, how much of a dipperino is this on Michael Wilson? Well, I got to take one of these quarterbacks. Okay, let's do Golden and let's do Love. Herbert, Love, Cook, Hampton, Price, Ladd, Egbuka, Downs, Golden, Warren. 3 quarterbacks is 16% advance. I'm in a weird part of the tree with 4 running backs. Yeah, this is not going to be a great advance rate grade, and that's okay. Do you view the Broncos or the Chargers? I mean, the Broncos are definitely a better team as it stands now, but obviously, as the thumbnail to this video would attest, I'm pretty worried about the Chargers. I think the Chargers could be so good. The Chargers have had the pieces, and God, McDaniel could just unlock so much for Herbert. Herbert could just be making layup throw after layup throw. The run fits are so good. The only thing that is saving me from like truly dooming about the Chargers taking over the division is that the Chargers are built on a haunted burial ground, and Murphy's Law applies like extra to the Chargers. Whatever can go wrong for the Chargers will go wrong. That is just a fact of life. Like, I mean, think of all the hilarious ways that Phillip Rivers and Justin Herbert have lost games. Like, just like search in your memory some of the most hilarious losses, and they're all Chargers losses. It's the only thing that keeps me going. I mean, here you go. This screenshot right here, this is what leads me to believe that there is nothing for me to fear but fear itself. There you go. Up 27-0, and they lose a playoff game to the Jacksonville Jaguars. You guys remember that? You remember where you were? I mean, there's no explanation for that in a rational way. That's just a curse. That's just a cursed organization, cursed franchise. Wow, my guy Goods was at that game. That's an all-timer. If they scored 2 more points, they would have won. I mean, yeah, there you go. There's the Chargers, like, that's the Chargers history right there. Wow, Mayfield's still available? I'm definitely taking Baker if he gets there. 132. And they brought Staley back to start the next season. I'm just saying, dude, the Chargers are going to charge. What are you going to do about it, you know? I was playing poker during that game, and every single person at the table agreed to stop playing and watch. It's incredible. All right. I'm going to have to do something that is not going to make me proud. Oh, no, I can't. Oh, do I take Keaton or do I take C-Rod? Oh, no. Oh, no. I got to take C-Rod here. No. Don't succumb to the dark side. I'm taking them both. I almost succumbed to the dark side there. Keaton missile, baby. I can't do it. I can't do it. Well, this team now officially hopes that Keaton and Hampton are are the Achane and Mostert, or we can't advance. You know what? I honestly was gonna take Chris Rodriguez there, but I remember how bad it felt when we took C-Rod on the stream yesterday, and then this was also what got me. Triple week 7 bye. C-Rod wasn't gonna help me in week 7 anyway. My week 7 running back is just Jadarian Price right now anyway. And so it didn't help me regardless. So I think, I mean, I don't know. I'd be curious to run that through a sim or whatever, but I don't hate that. I mean, what's just gonna have to happen is this is probably gonna have to be a 3-6-7-2. I don't know. We'll see. Just drafted a Mahomes, Rice, Missile, Bowers, BBM, 100 gifted if it ships. I'm not being a hater, but Hampton-Keaton has to be mega ass right. How does that get there? All right, well, I got you, bro. I'm gonna, Mr. Jabroni, I'm gonna open your eyes. Okay, 2023 Miami Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel, points for, second in the National Football League out of 32. Lost in the wild card to the Kansas City Chiefs, but you might notice in their backfield, 18 touchdowns for Raheem Mostert, 8 touchdowns for Devin Achane, just via the ground. Both of them contributed in the passing game, 25 and 21 receptions the piece. You just have to, if you want to believe that this is true, you just have to say that Kamani Vidal is the combination Jeff Wilson, Chris Brooks, Saban Ahmed. It's a big bet on the Chargers. It's just a massive bet on Mike McDaniel. I don't think I can take Kamani Vidal. I think I'm done with I'm done with Chargers on this team. What am I if not a pattern matcher? And it's basically my job. My job is basically to be the best pattern matcher in the world, right? If you think about what is best ball actually, you got to be doing some pattern matching. And it's kind of the nature of humanity. We evolved to match patterns, and being able to be good at pattern matching allowed us to survive longer. Now, you could argue that our modern world has evolved past the need to pattern match. God, do I take Gadsden too? I mean, this is a huge, it's actually not that big of an ADP value on him. Definitely going to take Debo. And then, do I dare take Gadsden too? Who would I be missing here that I really want? And I guess someone like Spears actually probably helps this team. Probably helps this team a lot, actually. I'm going to let Gadsden go here. I'm going to let Gadsden go. I mean, I was going to say McDaniel in general, if we go look at the McDaniel coaching. All right, so let's go look at the 2020, or here, how about this? The 2021 San Francisco 49ers. Their backfield was 200 touches for Elijah Mitchell, 79 in 9 games for Jeff Wilson. Debo had 8 rushing touchdowns on 59 rushes. Sermon got in a little bit. Jermichael Hasty got in a little bit. And then the 2022 Dolphins had Mostert, Jeff Wilson, Chase Edmonds, and Saban Ahmed, and Myles Gaskin all getting touches. Really, the only time that you saw workhorse usage was 20. And would you even say the 2024 Achane stuff was monster usage? 85 rushes for Mostert, 68 for Jalen Wright, 16 for Jeff Wilson. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think my pattern is matched. And I think it's an okay pattern. And I think Tajay Spears just solved a little bit of those issues. I mean, maybe not. Maybe not. Under 10 weeks until game 1. Incredible. David Attenborough. One of the all-time greats. David Attenborough, truly one of the believe he is when they do polls of like greatest living Britain, David Attenborough is always pretty high up there, as he should be. Wow, Gadsden getting to one dude, okay, that's really funny. Gadsden and Terrance Ferguson. This right here is like Corain's influence and my influence all at once. Back-to-back picks, Gadsden and T-Ferg. Literally, we Gadsden falling to 173 because of the Kolar propaganda and T-Ferg up to 174. That is so funny. I mean, come on. We gotta take Kolar. Oh, Dulcich and Helm go. That is tough. That is tough. Oh, never mind. Oh, dude, don't take. Okay, this guy can't take Schultz, right? He can't possibly. Oh, is he auto drafting? He is going to take Schultz. Okay, no. All right. So Schultz for our first pick. Definitely need another wide receiver. Lad, Egbuka, Downs, Golden, Debo. Do I take Judy? Judy is week 17 correlation. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do Mr. Schultz. And then let's do Judy. All right. So Warren and Schultz. Judy adds in a little bit more floor there. And then we can think about what we want to do with our final two. I am not a David Njoku drafter. I got to be honest. I would rather take Klare. This David Njoku contract, I think it was reported differently. This contract is nothing. 1 year, $3 million, $850K signing bonus, $850K guaranteed. The base salary is the veteran minimum, and all the rest of it is incentives. There's an active roster bonus, and then there is incentives, but that is as small of a contract as he could have signed, basically, with his service time. I think sadly I can't get this fancy with this team, because I think the only way to land the plane with this team, Herbert, Love, Baker, Cook, Hampton, Price, Keaton, Spears, Lad, Egbuka, Downs, Golden, Debo, Judy. I actually think I might need to take 6 running backs just to have another one active in week 7, because I don't know if Price and Spears are going to be good enough. But I don't think I don't think I can do the fancy plays. The flip side is it's an ultimate contract year. I mean, he just might not have anything left, though, is the issue. I mean, really, the issue at the end of the day is that you can't pay guys to be good. You can't pay guys to be healthy. Jefferson for GP. Adams. Who's GP? GP Adams in the 2027 first. I mean, 2027 firsts are very, very valuable. GP. Who's GP? GW? P's not even next to W on the... Oh, Pickens. Thank you. Pickens. Yeah, give me the Pickens Adams 21 first side, I think. All right. Let's do maybe Kalen Black. It's still kind of fancy playish. Definitely wide. Oh, you know what? This is kind of the definition of a Cooper Kupp team, where I just need someone who's literally going to be active. I mean, I think some players who you frequently refer to by their initials, I think is fine. I don't think I've ever heard of Pickens as GP before, though. All right. I'm going to take Cooper Kupp. And then I'm also going to take maybe Justice Hill. Who do the Ravens week 7? Oh, they play the Bengals. I'm going to take Justice Hill. Yeah, I just need a live body there. GM Chad. All right. Final team: Justin Herbert, Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield, James Cook, Omarion Hampton, Jadarian Price, Keaton Missile, Tajay Spears, Justice Hill, Lad McConkey, Emeka Egbuka, Josh Downs, Matthew Golden, Deebo Samuel, Jerry Jeudy, Cooper Kupp, Tyler Warren, and Dalton Schultz. All right. How many likes on this stream right now? We have got, let me check the analytics. Because if you guys get to, I don't know, how many people are watching right now? 301 people watching right now. And 83 likes. All right. 115 likes. I'll do one more. 115 likes. We'll hop in one more. How about that? Does that work? Hey, this is great advice. Tips from a 49-year-old. Make sure you guys are getting your creatine in. I take creatine every day, brother. I take 10 grams of creatine a day, though. We can do an elim, but you guys have to get the requisite number of likes, or we're not doing it. 115. 113. All right, good enough. Let's rip an elim. Please don't make me do it on my phone. Gosh, darn it. I've already maxed the Pitbull. I wish that one was 20 max. Could he really be washed though? We were taking this guy before Fannin got there. I think with tight ends, it just goes, brother. I think that's how it goes. All right, and we are in the elim. Bang. Active, Command F, Eliminator. Here we go. Start shortly. We are drafting with Slappy White, Goods, Patrick Barnes YouTube, Carved Muffin 253, TD Magnet, Chad Candles, A Word on Sports, William, Delay, Mile High Jabroni, and J Beer 40. We are drafting out of the 10 slot. Dude, Patrick Barnes never leaves. He never leaves. Oh, we got him, folks. Put the puppy in the bag, Noomi. Put the puppy in the bag. Who-Hames just put the shiesty on. There are 9 contests open in the lobby, Who-Hames. 9. You don't want to play the Eliminator? I don't know. Here's the deal. I literally don't think Patrick Barnes watches my channel. You guys know that Patrick Barnes has a huge YouTube. How many low stakes? I mean, Eliminator's 10. They just had a $3 one just fill. They just had a $1 contest 2 days ago. Genty is the best first round pick in the 103. Okay, well, my brain just didn't work right there. Genty is the best first round pick after the 1.3 in the elim. I agree. What do I think on the Penn State running backs, Nick Singleton and Kaytron? I am a fan of Singleton's game. I don't love Kaytron, honestly. I'm not. I take Kaytron, honestly, as a balance because I like Ja'Cory Crosskey-Merritt. Singleton, I can actually squint and see like a difference-making NFL running back. Not that you should like care what my scouting stuff is, but Kaytron came out pretty poor in the slot model. Yes, I would say with a high degree of certainty that the puppy 3 is going to come out. And I am going to take, you know what? I'm going to get weird. I'm going to take Barkley. Barkley is the later buy. Barkley at 10. Why not? Is there any difference in strategy for a single entry best ball contest versus 150? I mean, like basically the EV of an individual team doesn't change. It's just going to come down to, and you know what? I'm going to take Walker over Hampton too. I don't care, dude. I don't care. Unique combos in the elim, brother. Like the EV of your individual team is not any different. It just becomes about your risk tolerance. Patrick Barnes YouTube drafts thousands of best ball teams, has a huge YouTube channel about his dog. No, literally, dude. He literally is living my dream. He is literally living my dream. It's okay for them to neglect us one day. Yeah, Patrick Barnes YouTube has he's got like a Claude tool. And the Claude tool is just like, hey, whenever Davis is in a lobby, I gotta get him. He's got the bum hunting tool. Hampton doesn't play. Does Hampton play the Card? Yes, Hampton does play the Cardinals week 1. I know that because I'm also projecting Keaton Mitchell to get a bazillion points in that game as well. All right. Well, what are my picks going to be here? Ooh, Bowers at 18. So Barkley week 10, Walker week 5. I mean, sucks. It does. The Chiefs having an early bye week does suck. I mean, early bye week is a huge deal in the Eliminator. I mean, obviously, I'm doing a little bit of I'm doing a little bit of astrology, bro, there, because I don't really know, but like just intuitively thinking through it, I'm like, yeah, that does suck. I'd watch for at least a few minutes of doing week 1 projections in July. I mean, I don't do them, but I do have access to like I have access to the sheet that we use to do the Run the Sims projections. So like I could theoretically, I could pull up the sheet that the Run the Sims guys use to do the projections. Actually I'm looking at my bookmarks thing and I don't even have it bookmarked anymore, showing you how involved I am with the projection process. I have a quant for that too, just for one game, make up some numbers. 18 rushes, 900 yards. Keaton Mitchell, week 1, 90 yards per carry. You know what? And nothing ever happens either. And I'm going to take Josh Jacobs here. Josh Jacobs is a freaking jam in the Eliminator. Honestly, I don't even think that this is that bad of a strategy to just try and get through week 1. Keaton Mitchell versus a middle school team. Who gets more yards? Wait, hold on. Do I dare take a fourth running back in a row? Might as well. What could go wrong? Who gets more yards? Keaton Mitchell against the Cardinals in week 1 or Davis Maddock versus a middle school team? Who gets more yards? So Keaton's going to have like 350 yards. I'd have at least 350. First week game, Wednesday Night Football. Rematch, Pats versus Seahawks, fantasy points by player. Drake May gets 19. Darnold gets 14. Jadarian Price gets 21. Ramondre gets 9. Henderson gets 6.7. A.J. Brown has 13 targets, but only 6 catches for 82 yards. Eli Raridan catches the only Patriots touchdown. A.J. Barner has multiple tush pushes for first downs, but doesn't score a touchdown. I did see this. Yes, the Japanese men's team played against 100 elementary school kids. That is exactly what it would look like for me. 11 middle schoolers versus Davis Maddock, or 11 Davis Maddocks versus a grizzly bear. 11 Davis Maddocks are getting murdered by a grizzly bear. I don't think you guys know how big a grizzly bear is. 11 middle schoolers have no chance versus me. They're not only am I have grown man strength, but I'm also a dad now, so I now have dad strength. Grown man plus dad strength, you're not beating it. Yeah, all right. Everyone prognosticate the exact backfield split week 1. I'm going 16 total touches for Jadarian Price, 14 rushes, 2 receptions. George Halani plays 19 snaps but does not touch the ball. Emmanuel Wilson plays 4 snaps and gets rushes on all of them. Patriots backfield, Ramondre plays more snaps. He gets 12 total touches. TreVeyon Henderson gets 9 touches, but scores a 27-yard receiving touchdown. And Lan Larison comes out of nowhere to win the running back 3 job for the New England Patriots, but only plays on special teams in the game. Raridan outscores Hunter Henry fantasy points. If 11 Davis Maddocks go up the U.S. men's national team, how many U.S. men's national teams players would need to have red cards for me to score a goal? 8, 9. And if there's if one of them, like the goalie is if there's a goalie, I'm not scoring. Oh, okay. Well, this is gonna work out for me here, actually. This is gonna be nice. Because I got 2 wide receivers I like here. This guy's gonna auto draft Loveland. So let's do where's Christian Watson as a later buy, and I already have okay. I'm gonna do JMO actually. JMO's fine. Dubs yard mongs AJ Brown. This would actually be a really funny bit if they did a 12 of 12 advance. I'm 53 with arthritis and more screws in my fibula and ankle than you find lows. If I'm rushing for 100 yards against middle school kids, I'm gonna need a high school offensive line blocking for me. No, you get the same middle school team. Roma Dunze or BTJ. We'll do Rome week 10 bye. That's fine. I have not gotten Rashi at pick. I've not done too many. I've not done too many eliminators yet. I think this is only like my 7th one. Yes, I'm taking all the running backs, brother. Barkley, Walker, Jacobs, Montgomery. I'm boomer mogging. That's what they're saying out there. I'm boomer mogging. Live you you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain, which is exactly what's happened with me and with running backs. I mean, it is so funny to go back and just like think about some of the fantasy football teams we've drafted or some of the BBM teams, you know? Like we were not even close. How many PKs do you think you would convert out of 5 versus an MLS goalie? 0. None. And I mean, I played soccer. Like I like I can strike a ball, not well. Like I didn't even play like high school soccer, but I'm not like, you know, I'm not going to look like Dave Portnoy trying to kick a soccer ball. Like I can do it. Wow. All right, great question. I want everyone to answer this. Pretend you get the full Freddy experience. If you're watching this video on replay, I also want you guys to answer this. Mount Rushmore of Americana you'd have as a tourist visit. Be as creative as you'd like. So I think you definitely want to go to a football game, right? I don't think you can do America without going. I'd say you want to go to Bear Bryant Stadium. So I'm saying Bear Bryant Stadium, you go to Tuscaloosa on a Saturday, you go to a game, go an SEC football game, Bear Bryant. I'm going Yellowstone National Park. Yellowstone National Park. You get to see Old Faithful. You get to do the big hikes. I think you have to do New York City. I'm trying to think of like what the most American New York, because there's no city that is more American than that. What is the most American thing you can do in New York City? Like maybe go to like I guess you get to have the full Freddy experience. So I get to go to like whatever 3-star Michelin restaurant is in New York. Whatever the nicest dining experience is in New York. Because American food, we people give American food such crap, but there are huge advances being made in food here all the time. Like we do a lot of revolutionary food stuff. This is a Dipperino on Caleb. We'll take Caleb Williams. And then what do I want to, what's 4? Honestly, you know what, if you really wanted the thing, if you wanted to get the true like American thing, you'd have to drive. That is the most uniquely American thing, is getting in a car and just like driving like for 10 hours. That is very, or riding in like a super nice like old school like sleeper car train all the way down the East Coast or something. But yeah, it would be something like this. It would be driving Texas tip to tip or something like that. Route 66. That is really, really American. We're gonna do Godwin here. I don't know. I don't have a great 4th, but I do think the key part of it is driving is huge. Driving is that would be the maximal. Participate in a duel. God, Branson, Missouri. Any of you guys ever done Branson, Missouri? I have done Branson, Missouri. Let me tell you, not an experience you need to do. Forgetting ranch. No, because there's big gambling in Europe. There are super nice big casinos and stuff in Europe, so I don't think that counts. Yeah, I do think for Europeans, the most key thing you can do to get a sense of America is to drive or do a train. Yellowstone, NYC football game, drive coast to coast. Yeah, Santa Monica, Laguna Beach, like whatever, like something in LA on the coast. I think you also, yeah, I think that's unlimited refills and AC at chain restaurants is my funny but real answer. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? You know what is very American? Like going to Chili's. Is there anything more American than going to Chili's? I don't think so. Sit in middle economy on a transcontinental flight. Ugh. Ugh. I agree. I agree that LA sucks. Very, very much agree. I am not an LA guy. I'm also not a New York guy. I'm a small town guy. But I feel like the two most quintessentially American cities are Los Angeles and New York City. I don't even really think there's an argument. Maybe you could argue for Chicago, but I don't think so. I don't think so. And I'm not even saying these places are good. I'm like scared of these places. I went to New York with Peter and and I was scared. I did not like New York, man. Well, it was fine. It's not for me. I'm aware of my limitations as a human being, and I do not like big cities that much. Okay. Michael Pittman Jr. Don't snipe me, bro. Michael Pittman Jr. very important to what I'm building here. Although I do have double week 10 buys with the Dune. Yeah, okay, there we go. Michael Pittman Jr. And then did Goff already go? Yeah, Goff already went. Shoot. All right. Well, guess sometimes you got to eat it. Just getting back from driving across the United States. There is nothing American about New York City. I would beg you to reevaluate your framework for viewing the world because you are dead ass wrong, sir. All right. Except they both have week 10 buys. Damn. Well, you know what? I'm going to take another quarterback anyway, so we are going to take Mayfield. I don't know. There's nothing American about New York City. That's the I've had a lot of crazy YouTube comments. I think there's nothing American about the most American city is crazy. Bro, that is like the promise of America is New York. Sitting in LA right now and from New York, if you spend some time in another place, it isn't so daunting. I'm sure I would get used to it over time. But like, dude, you know, I go outside my door right now and I see trees. I hear birds and things. I didn't say I hated it. I definitely did not hate New York City. It just was overwhelming to me, basically. A lot of people, a lot of buildings, you know. I was born in Montana and I was raised in a small town in Kansas with like 40,000 people. There were 2 high schools, you know. I think probably the tallest building where I was born, like maybe 5 stories. Maybe. So every building being 90 stories is crazy. You know, for me. I live in South Philly on a tree-lined street with birds. Not every city is a concrete jungle. Yeah, I mean, you know, there's what the brownstones in New York and stuff. All of that. Yeah, Billings, Montana, Slim. That is where I was born. As someone from New York City, it's definitely overstimulating, basically, at this point, for people trying to make as much money as possible and then move to the burbs. Hey, the burbs everywhere are underrated. The burbs are very underrated. It's you know, it's not bad. Being a suburbanite is honestly fine. All right. What am I doing with this team? Double week 10 buys at quarterback. Not my best. Caleb Baker, Barkley, Walker, Jacobs, Montgomery, Jamo, Rome, Godwin, Pittman. Although more quarterbacks are here than I thought, so maybe I actually played this correctly. $40K is a concrete metropolis. Grew up in a town of 1,100. Graduated with 36 people. All right. Dude, what? This is a crazy Golden at 130. Ooh, yes. Have you guys seen tornadoes? Because they don't really have those in Europe, right? Because they're too far north. Tornadoes are crazy. I've seen tornadoes. Many of them. I mean, I'm taking Golden here, dude. I know that, well, the buy is actually fine. Pick 130 Golden. I don't hate any of these places, brother. I just said it's not for me. It's not for me. I feel the same way. Like I go to Chicago a lot, and Chicago is even kind of too much for me. Do I take a tight end? Andrews week? Yeah, I'm just gonna take Andrews. I don't even care about stacks. A week 13 buy is quite nice. I just and frankly, honestly, a lot of what plays into it is that I don't like leaving my house that much. If we're being real, I just don't like to leave my house that much. I prefer to be in my house or in my backyard or whatever. This is so true. This is the most American experience. The iPad flip for the 15% coffee tip. It really, you're not getting more American than that. That is peak. Midwest lifestyle is chilling at home, leave once a week for groceries. I do get up and go to the gym in the morning, so I do leave the house. And I live in a neighborhood where we can walk. There are sidewalks, there are little corner stores and stuff. So I can go put my kid in the stroller. Like I can go walk around, which is it's just gonna ask you a couple questions. Here's your coffee. It's just gonna ask you a couple questions. Hey, chat, it's just a couple questions, bro. Everyone settle down. It's just gonna ask you a couple questions. I will say this. I worked for tips because I was a delivery driver in college. So I get it. I always tip whenever I do food delivery or whatever, I do always tip. I don't really do it that much anymore. The big one, and this is big. Here's some advice. Here's some alpha for you, actually. If you have a neighborhood coffee shop, always tip at least 15%, because it is so nice to have a place that you can go. You could just, the people, it's friendly. Like this is a quality of life thing, because there's a coffee shop basically right next to my house that I go to all the time. I walk my dog there. I take my son there. We hang out. We sit on the patio, whatever. And it is insanely nice to know the people that work there, to have it all be friendly. Like that is a price I'm willing to pay for the environment to be there. That is a tip I don't mind making. But when you're at Starbucks or whatever, and it's like, hey, it's just gonna ask you a couple questions. Yes, and also this is true. Is like, it's the easiest thing to do. Obviously, getting coffee is go to a small place instead of Starbucks. Man, Chig feels like a jam here too. And then I take Rodgers, right? Or do I take Rodgers first? It's probably more annoying to miss on Rodgers. So assuming I don't get snapped here, that's actually who I'm going to take. Rodgers, a very important eliminator player, I feel. Yeah, all right, there we go. Rodgers. Yeah, food service in general. They're like YouTubers. They live off tips. They're just like me. My department does a group lunch every Thursday. We don't do any. There you go. That's pretty badass. Do I dare take Gadsden? There's not really an obvious stack for me anywhere, is there? Yeah, they're all kind of later. Oh, you know what? I just think Adonai Mitchell is a good pick. Yeah, I'm going to take Adonai Mitchell. And then I'm going to figure it out later at tight end. All right. Immediately after this video, there is going to be a premiere of a brand new video, the Deep Sleepers. And by deep, I mean they really are deep. These are the deepest sleepers that you were going to find in fantasy football. I've done the research, so you guys don't have to. That's over on the Matic Fantasy Football channel. If you guys are not subscribed to the Matic Fantasy Football channel, it would do me a great service for you guys to check that channel out. I would appreciate it. And I would also appreciate if any of you guys like these tools or my rankings, or you just want to support me, you want to support the channel. If you guys wanted to subscribe to flockfantasy.com, code Davis, we have the season pass, which is only $34, which is exactly what it sounds like. It just gets you the seasonal stuff. It's going to help you in your redraft league. If you want the all-inclusive stuff, dynasty rankings, dynasty trade calculator, the predict tab, the comparison tool, the prospect modeling, that's $97. And then if you want the best ball thing, that's the annual mother flocker plus the best ball thing. That's $147 for a whole year, which is pretty nice. I actually think it is a pretty good deal. And then we're also going to cook up a World Cup pick'em. And then we will, 992 drafts. You guys weren't supposed to see that, bro. 992 drafts completed. What can I say? Next year, all starting quarterbacks are going before round 10. You know, that'll be really interesting. I wonder what the market reaction to that will be. Yeah, what is going to happen next year in fantasy football, assuming that 3 quarterbacks ends up being a dominant strategy again this year? Like, what if 3 quarterback is a really strong advance rate and everything this season? That will be quite interesting. Like, are we going to be drafting Geno Smith in the 11th round? I mean, I guess maybe. It's possible, right? God, that can't. I mean, I hope it doesn't happen. I guess it could. That would make like Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Drake May, that would make those guys like some of the best picks on the board, basically. This might even end up being a 4 tight end team. I don't particularly like any of these running backs here. All right, let's take Cade Otton for the Stackerino. If Underdog opens ADP that way, it does dictate the opening market. I mean, there are still things happening. I just realized I can't do the pick'em because my geolocation is not working. So I guess we can't. The only thing that I really, really like today is Martin Baturina to generate a goal or assist against Portugal on the dog app is the only one that I quite like. All right. I do need one more running back. Probably. Let's save it. Actually. Because we're going to take another tight end right here. And I'm going to take my boy, T. Ferg, as my 3rd tight end. Then we got 2 more picks. I don't The thing is I don't know if Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson would correspondingly move up. I guess that's the interesting question. I don't know if it would. I mean, theoretically, in a draft where Tyler Shuck is going at 115, Lamar Jackson at 51 is a huge value. Like that is kind of one of the interesting things about the market right now. And Jacob has been making this point, and it's why these builds, the Caleb Williams, the Justin Herbert, the Joe Burrow, the Trevor Lawrence, the Jalen Hurts, it's why those teams feel so cozy, because you're getting quarterback one production, but you're not really like, oh, I passed up on Courtland Sutton to take Trevor Lawrence. I passed up on DK Metcalf to take Drake May. I passed up on RJ Harvey to take Jalen Hurts. Yeah, see, like I think in that meta, I think I would rather pay pick 29 for Josh Allen. I think I would obviously need to do my own research on that before answering. But I mean, there are arguments to be had on Josh Allen went at 41 in this draft to William. That feels very rational, very reasonable to me personally. Pick 41, Josh Allen. I know that from talking to some of the sim guys that like Josh Allen at that price is still not great. Like he's not popping all that much in the sim based stuff. They're cozy for the regular season. It would make me nervous. Any elite quarterbacks crap their pants in the playoffs. Maybe there's a reason an elite quarterback hasn't won since Liam with Josh Allen. Well, it just puts a lot of weight. On one guy. Is the reality of the situation. It's just the one guy just has to be very good. And there's no way around it. Like you can't win with third round Josh Allen if Josh Allen gets 14 points in week 16 or whatever, and at running back and at wide receiver and stuff, you just have more outs. Like you can survive a bad week from David Montgomery, Chris Godwin, or whatever. Just because you have more options. We're going to take Justice Hill at running back as our running back 5. And then as our final wide receiver, we are going to take Tyquan Thornton or Jalen Knoll. I'm going to press the autopilot button there. I'll also put, you know what? Keenan Allen also, I think, is an option there. But on the flip side, in a 3-quarterback meta, you could have 2 lower guys ping pong week 15, 16, and get the nuke week 17. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You are exactly correct. All right, there we go. We did it. Final team, Caleb Williams, Baker Mayfield, Aaron Rodgers, Saquon Barkley, Ken Walker, Josh Jacobs, David Montgomery, Justice Hill, Jamison Williams, Roma Dunze, Chris Godwin, Michael Pittman Jr., Matthew Golden, Adonai Mitchell, Tyquan Thornton, Mark Andrews, Cade Otton, and Terrance Ferguson. Lovely hanging out with all you guys. Appreciate all you guys. Make sure to check out my stuff over on flockfantasy.com. Code Davis. You're going to get redirected to the new redraft channel right now.